everybody, so I'm going to be giving you guys my labor and delivery story with Isabella. I have Eden here, so he's being a troublemaker, but Julio's not here to watch him while I film this. Everything started on September 19th. I woke up at 6 a.m. having pretty bad contractions. Julio was getting ready for work. I told him that I didn't think he was going to be able to go to work because I thought that I was in labor. So he stayed home, and that's when the real contractions, like, they started getting painful. So he was just rubbing my back a lot. Then around 8 a.m. I called my mom and told her that I was having a lot of contractions and she could take me to the hospital. So she came to pick me up, and Julio stayed with Eden because Eden was sick and I didn't want to just leave him because he hadn't woken up yet. When we got there, they checked me and they told me that I was at a 5 centimeters dilated. So right when they told me that, right away I told her I want that epidural, like call the anesthesiologist so I can get the epidural. I wasn't in that much pain. Like my experience with Eden was way more painful than it was with Isabella. Way more painful. Also, I forgot to mention that before I went into labor, I was almost 2 centimeters. I was basically 2 centimeters already. So like when I went and got checked at the OB, I was 2 centimeters, and that was a week before I went into labor. And I had also lost my mucus plug like 2 or 3 days before that. So anyways, back to it. So I told her I want the epidural. So she was like, she told me, okay, we're gonna have to give you fluids through an IV first. We're gonna have to give you 2 bags of fluids. So they were trying to get my IV in and they could not get it in. I guess my veins were curved in a way, and so they would get it in my vein, but they couldn't get actual fluid into my vein. I don't know if that makes sense. So they poked me 5 times and they couldn't get my vein all those 5 times. So they decided to call what they called the SWAT team, and they basically do all the hard IVs in the hospital. They bring a little ultrasound machine and they see your vein on the ultrasound, and then they know that they actually get it in there. So they called them, but then the anesthesiologist called and he said, I can go and do her IV, I'll numb her and I'll get it done. So he came and he numbed me because he said it was going to hurt really bad because he was going to have to dig for my vein. So he numbed the area and that didn't hurt that much. It just felt like getting another IV put in. When he did the actual IV, all I could feel was blood dripping down my arm. So the blood was everywhere, so then she had to clean it off of me. And after that, like 20 minutes later, they came and they did my IV they did my epidural, and when they did my epidural, it didn't hurt at all. All I felt was the numbing shot, but after that, I didn't feel anything. All I felt was like if someone was pushing on my back with their thumb. But the numbing shot did scare me because he didn't count or anything. He just like stuck it into my back, and so I did jump a little bit. My mom was freaking out. She was there praying and stuff because not a lot of people in my family get the epidural, and so my mom was scared. So she was there like praying a bunch, and I was like, Mom, you're scaring me, because she was scared that I was going to get paralyzed. My doctor wanted them to break my water, so after the epidural they came in to break my water. I was 70.
It's broken.
When they broke it, they checked me and they saw that it was 8 centimeters. After that, I basically just tried to sleep, but I couldn't sleep because the feeling in my legs was so weird. It just feels like your leg is asleep, and the only side effect I got from the epidural was itchiness. I was itchy like if I had mosquito bites everywhere. They came back in and they checked me again, and I was 10 centimeters dilated. Then they were like, okay, your doctor's on his way. He had a little cup of coffee, he set it down, he was like, let's push this baby out. They propped me up and I could see everything. With Ian, I was like blacking out, but I could see everything that was going on. So they propped me up and I pushed, and then I could just hear Julio like telling me like, you're almost there, and I was like, I'm almost there, like what are you talking about? Because with Ian I pushed for like 30 minutes. Like 3 minutes later, 2 to 3 minutes later, her head was out. So then the doctor was like, do you want to pull her out? Her head's out, her arms are out. And I was like, okay. And so I pulled the Kourtney Kardashian and I pulled her out. I could see everything they were doing. They were pouring oil on me and everything. So she was out in about 4 to 5 minutes. I didn't feel anything. I could feel like this aching pain on my right hip, but other than that I didn't feel anything. She was born 6 pounds 1 ounce. I didn't tear at all, which I'm sure she had been a little bit bigger I would have teared with Eden. I teared, but I only got 1 stitch, and he was 6 pounds 13 ounces. But that was my labor and delivery of Isabella. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.